Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. Thank you for stopping by today to see what I wanted to talk about. You know, you never know here. Sometimes it's dating advice because I'm a matchmaker and a dating coach. Other times it's makeup tutorials. Still struggling with that. Some days just beauty and some days it's fashion. Today I had some tips for you. Some tips on how to look 10 years younger. Did some research, thought about it, got some thoughts, some ideas. I want to share them with you. Definitely want to hear back from you. Leave a comment down below. I'll start first. Here we go. I know this is going to be all over the place because I keep thinking of new things I want to add to my list. I saw something that inspired this video in the first place. This was a picture of Christy Brinkley, who's had another facelift and looks, honestly, she looks great, a little different. She had a facelift, she had some work done, and she looks like a pretty woman who does not look to be her age. And so I suppose the number one answer of how to look 10 years younger, or 20 or 30 in her case, would be have plastic surgery. It's an option. Now this one I know is going to be very controversial because it's dyeing your hair. And I know that some things have come out in the news recently saying that hair dye may not be safe for us and may be causing cancer. I don't know if it's true. Certainly we'd have to take that into account because nothing is worth our health. But if that pans out to be not true and or there are now more natural options, it is certainly true that having your original color hair compared to having gray hair, which I think is beautiful, does tend to make one look younger. So don't get me wrong, if you have gray hair, I'm saying I like it. Some of my very best friends have not dyed their hair in years. My mother recently let hers grow out and I think she looks great in the color gray she got. She's still got it mixed with some brown and it's a pretty color, and she's changed her makeup to match that color. She looks fabulous. If I start getting a lot of gray, I don't know that I wouldn't do that. But if you're looking to look 10 years younger, hair dye definitely falls into that category of doing that. And if we're talking about hair color, I know that they recommend with hair color as we get more mature and get more lines on our face, more of our faces doing whatever it is they do, sinking or sagging or wrinkling or whatever. They do say that to make our hair color look less harsh and a little bit softer takes away some of the aging process. So they're always recommending those caramel highlights, those golden colors, not going too dark if you're dyeing it, not going towards black, which can be rather harsh and make your skin tone look a little more ashy, which is probably not the goal. I think I was doing that for a while, got some balayage, I liked it, it's a lot of upkeep, I'm kind of lazy. But lighter colors do look really beautiful and they look pretty on older women because they look pretty on younger women too. So if you're dyeing your hair, don't go too dark, they say. Definitely don't go too ashy if that's not your natural color. Staying in the hair category, I should probably mention that there are some people who feel that cutting bangs gives you a more youthful appearance. I actually have a deal with my daughter and all my friends that if I bring up cutting bangs again, and or every time I do bring up cutting bangs, that they talk me out of that before I grab a pair of scissors or we are no longer in a relationship. I don't know if I look good in bangs because I just don't like myself in bangs, but sometimes I feel I need a change and I've done that. And I've done it one too many times and regretted it. And it's such a drag growing out bangs. But play with your hair. Pull that bottom piece up, put it over here. Have somebody stand behind you and put their hair over yours to give you bangs. If you look great in them, they're very youthful. After plastic surgery and all the different things you can do to mess with your hair, I would say that for me, the thing I thought of next was depuffing. I just noticed that as I get older, I retain more water in different places, and my face is one of them. So that jade roller that I mentioned in my top beauty products, that or a mask or taking an ice cube in the morning and rubbing it gently, not for too long, but gently along places that are puffy, especially under our eyes. Depuffing is a great way to walk out your door looking 10 years younger. Also, to help with that depuffing is to not sleep in a room that's too hot, and if you can, to sleep with your head propped up a little bit. So an extra pillow can help with that. Number 4 would be to stay fit, stay active, and pay attention to your posture. Posture is really I'm already in a good position. It's good. I'm working on it. So much of our time is spent sitting down, hunched over. So bad for our back, so bad for our spine. You get stuck in that position and things start to hurt. So if you can pay attention to your posture, I know a really great way to do that is a yoga class. Is really great for keeping your body flexible and limber and having better posture. I'm planning on taking one with my mother, actually. She said, what can we take for a class? And I said, yoga would probably be really good for us. I do quite a bit of stretching. I'm bugging her to do more stretching. She just got to slide off the sofa onto the floor, and while you're watching TV, do a little circuit of stretching all the different parts of your body. I mean, I meditate and I stretch, but you can't get too much of that. So yoga would maybe be something great to take off 10 years. You can't make a list of things to do taking care of yourself to look 10 years younger without mentioning diet and what you eat. So I'm really on a journey to cut out any processed foods. I've cut out sugar, I've cut out alcohol, I've cut out what I think is toxic to my body. Take care of yourself from the inside out. Watched a whole talk about sleeping the other day, and I thought, yeah, that's an important one too. You can look tired, and that does add years, even to young people. So if it's doing that to them, imagine what it does to somebody in their 50s. So get a good night's sleep. We don't necessarily need 8 hours, as they always suggested, said this video that I watched and a little bit of some reading I did after that. But read an article about it or watch a TED Talk. There are some ways to figure out if you're a night owl or you're a morning person, and adjust your schedule a little bit so you can actually get better sleep in less amount of time by hitting all those important cycles and cutting out the ones you don't need. Watch something about that. Also, in one of those TED Talks and that little show that I watched on YouTube, they said that taking medication to get your sleep does not make for restful sleep. It's not the same as natural sleep. So if you are taking something that helps you sleep, other than melatonin perhaps, read something about that just to make sure that you're getting the best kind of sleep that's going to make you the most rested, the most healthy, and looking your youngest. Next on my list of things that would make you look 10 years younger are some of those new tech toys that everybody's talking about. I'm not one of them, but I do hear people rave about them, people who look really great. One would be those LED light masks that you can wear. My daughter was supposed to give me hers when she stopped wearing it for acne, so I could use the anti-aging. I think that's the red light, and she hasn't brought that over. So Rachel, bring me that light, please, that mask. You said I could borrow it. And also like the New Face, some of those machines with the electrical stimulation that gets your nerves going. Do some research. Some people swear by it. Maybe that's the answer to all your aging questions and concerns with your face. I don't know. But I do know I want that light. I want to try that. Purple, I think. I need two, the blue and the red. I'll put some information about that down in my description box. We can't make a list about looking younger without mentioning moisturizer. Everybody's got their favorites. You may be buying a drugstore brand. You may be buying some very high-end magical lotions. I've tried a lot of different ones. I've had La Mer before, the most expensive moisturizer I ever bought. I did like the eye cream. I couldn't rationalize that cost over and over again when I like my CeraVe so much. And so I use that CeraVe, and I also have a CeraVe night cream that I really enjoy. I think it plumps up, and you know I like that Neutrogena Hydra Boost, the little blue gel cream that's great for summer months and great for days here when I'm not very dry. If I'm feeling well hydrated, it gives a nice finish. So moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. It plumps up everything and makes those lines appear less noticeable because you're plumping up your wrinkles. Moisturizer is important. It hides a multitude of aging signs. And while we're talking about your skin and plumping it up, why don't we just kind of avoid some of that aging process in the first place by continuing to wear sunscreen. Even on days it's not sunny, even on days it's not warm and sunny, just make it part of your routine to put on some sunscreen on your face. I have not had my face in the sun in probably 20 years. Mostly it's because I just don't have the patience for the sun. I did all my sun damage in my teens in my early 20s, and once I hit 30, I became aware of that and started wearing sunscreen and pretty much wore a hat on vacations. Beach vacations, I'm under a palapa or an umbrella, I'm wearing a hat, I have sunscreen on, and I think that really kind of helps other parts of my body that were sun damaged really badly in my teens look a lot older than the parts of my body that have been protected. I know that. I have not put myself through looking under one of those lights to see the sun damage where you see, like I know my chest has a lot of sun damage. I haven't done any laser treatment on it or anything. I know you can get rid of that. But especially if somebody younger has wandered onto my channel, wear your sunscreen. Talk a little bit about makeup and how you can use makeup to appear younger. There's a couple little tricks that I've been reading about and playing with for a while. One of them is to not over powder. That powdery look is very my grandma, and actually not my grandma, my aunt. But it very much makes you look like an older woman to have that powdery makeup finish. So those powdery looking foundations or covering over with a heavy powder at the end is not great for skin that's aging. It just draws more attention to the lines. And I think that is kind of the beauty of the setting sprays, which kind of melds any powders you do use to set concealer or whatever. Or like me, where I use it to blend everything together and blur it all out. A little bit of shimmer in those powders is a good idea. And speaking of shimmer, that's the beauty of these highlighters, really. They can add back in a little bit of life by looking, you can see I've got that highlighter right here. It makes my skin look like I'm glowing from within, which is a very youthful thing. The other thing is where you place your blush. I know a lot of it has to do with face shape, for sure. But I do think that putting the blush a little bit higher on your cheeks is a much more youthful look than lower, where it tends to bring things down and draw attention to things that are starting to fall or move with gravity. So keeping the blush up a little higher than as opposed to right here on my face makes a big difference. You know, if you've seen any of my makeup tutorials, that I also like that baby pink color right in the front here. I usually keep my blush right in here, but I like to just give a little pink right here as if I'm truly blushing, and then a little bit over the top of my nose in that baby pink color. And I think it looks a little bit more youthful. I think while we're in the makeup category, our lips start to thin a little bit as we get older. So there are no rules. I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I've read a lot about wearing colors that might be too dark on our lips. If they are thinning, you may not have that. You may have super plump, beautiful lips. I do not. So for me, I know that I can wear bright colors, I can wear mid-tone colors, but I try to stay away from like burgundies or the very dark reds. First of all, they tend to bleed into my lip lines even with a lip liner, but also it makes my lips look tiny. It just kind of makes them disappear. So lip gloss makes them look a little fuller, outlining them a tiny bit outside in certain areas of my lips really helps, but not too dark of a lip color. Really does make you look a little bit younger. Now we're going to lean towards fashion, the ways to not have fashion age you so that you can look 10 years younger. And that would be to just keep in mind that anything too matching outfits are a little aging, so don't do that and you will automatically look a little younger. Being yourself, you've seen so many videos on this probably if you've been here for a while, but don't let age define, don't let a number define what you want to wear to express yourself. Whatever makes you feel young and jubilant and joyful and all that, that's what you should be wearing. And aging things would be something that is too matchy and wearing it with a bad bra. Make sure your bra is holding the girls up where they need to be and not where they want to be naturally. A bra should have you, I'll put a link here to my how to fit a bra. I did do one that was pretty mathematical for me if you think about it. But if you fold your arm, let me get up. If you do your arm, hold it like bent in half, somewhere between the crook of your elbow and your shoulder is where your breast should be. I can't tell right now. Hopefully. I don't know, we could turn that strap, pull that strap off a little bit. But make sure you're wearing a good bra to hold those girls in place. And that is a more youthful look when they're up higher, so don't look 10 years older for sure. Look 10 years younger by wearing a good bra and fitting it properly. And here's that link. I saved this one for last. This is my final tip in things that will make you look 10 years younger, and that is Retin-A. I don't know if you're using it. I don't know if you're thinking about using it. I don't know if you're a little younger and you've started, but Retin-A is a miracle. Oh, I did think of something else. We didn't talk about fillers, did we? Fillers are definitely a way. We did talk about plastic surgery at the beginning of this list, but obviously going to the skin doctor or the plastic surgeon and getting some injections into some lines. I know I took you with me to get Botox. I don't have any fillers in the rest of my face, although I've tried them before. They certainly take away wrinkles. Do they make you look 10 years younger? I don't know. Some people probably, me, I don't know. But I do know that Retin-A just not only does it slough off your dead skin and keep you with more glowing skin and get rid of any dead skin cells on a regular basis, which is what I always thought it did, but recent studies have shown that it does promote the growth of more collagen underneath and more support. I did start recently changing the way that I use my Retin-A. I think maybe a few years ago I started bringing it up. It's not quite as harsh as I thought. They've been saying that you can put it right up under your eyes. So I put it right up to my lashes here. And the new thing I've been doing this year is I've been putting it on my lids, actually, which has been weird with the Latisse. Because I've got the Latisse along the lash line, and then I've got the rest of the Latisse through my brows, and then right in the middle I have to get in there with the Retin-A. But Retin-A, the prices come down. I get mine right from my skin doctor. There are some less potent versions of it that you can get at the drugstore. It's a place to start, at least if you're not going to go straight in. It does take some acclimating because your skin can react. I can do a video actually on all the stuff I know about Retin-A after almost 30 years of using it, and its application and what order you put things. I'll do that. So that was my final one, Retin-A. I'm sure there are other ways that you can take off 10 years, and I just haven't thought of them or jotted them down yet. So you tell me, put them down in the comment section so that we can all enjoy them and learn from them, if you would. That's what I've got for today. It's this many of them. I don't know, I didn't count. I hope you found a couple good ones in there, and I really look forward to hearing what you want to share. Thank you so much for stopping by. I always appreciate it so much, and I will look forward to seeing you next time. So please hit the ring button so that you're notified when I upload a new video. And until that next time, have a good one.